am I walking with in my spiritual journey? Who am I encouraging, and who encourages me? The author C.S. Lewis said these following words: friendship is born out of the moment that one person says to another, "What? You too? I thought I was the only one." It's only when we realize that we're not the only ones in the boat and doing the same thing that God can use us. The second thing God wants us to understand is God's blessings often require partnerships. And this is where I want to pick up the passage that we've been dealing with the last couple days. Luke 5, chapter 5, verses 4 through 7. The thing about it is this. Peter and probably Andrew also, his brother, were partners in the boat. And they had some other partners, James and John, the sons of thunder. They had been fishing all night. They came to shore, they were cleaning up their nets, they were putting together stuff, taking all the trash that the nets had collected. They had not fished anything all night long. And then Jesus is on the seashore. He's being crowded by people. He says, I need to be able to get to where I can talk to people and not feel like they're crunching me here. So he got on the boat. He said, you'll go out a little ways and I'll use this as my platform and I'll begin to preach. And so he began to teach and have that time with the multitudes that were following him. And Peter, it was his boat, so he took him out there and was listening to him. When Jesus finished, then he turns to Peter. And he says to Peter in verse 4, when he had finished speaking, he said this to Peter, now go out where it is deeper and let down your nets to catch some fish. You know, we read stories like this and we sometimes think that these people were at a level that you know what? You know what the first thing Peter did was? He started to argue with him. He starts to argue with him, and then something catches his attention. He realized he just heard an incredible teaching. He said, doesn't that happen to you that sometimes God's speaking to you and asking you to do something and you're going to give him the answer why you can't and won't? Has that ever happened to you? Peter starts out saying, Master, we worked hard all last night and didn't catch a thing. And could you imagine putting yourself in Peter's place? He's going, what does a carpenter know about fishing? You know, you think about it. But then there was a tug at his heart. And